See?
Yeah, say hello, hello. Namaste, New York.
What?
Namaste, New York.
Oh, good.
Namaste, New York.
Namaste.
In New York.
Oh,
New York City.
no York City.
New York City.
No York City.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
It's going on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. Okay, so where we are right now, is I'm outside the main gate into the sacred garden, which is a complex I'm told about a mile and a quarter, maybe about 2 miles. So maybe I was thinking like Central Park size. And inside there are a lot of Hindu temples and Buddhist monasteries and Buddhist temples, the center of which is the main temple that marks the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama, who we know as the Buddha. As far as I know, in Hindu tradition, the Buddha, Siddhartha, is like number 12. But for Buddhism, he's the enlightenment, he's the awakening. And this is where archaeological evidence and scripture and documentation, verified documentation, claims the location of his birth, and there's a Buddhist temple there, obviously a monastery, and that's where we're going. So, peace to those who seek it. We're just inside the gate that is presumably going to take me on the road to the temple where the Buddha was born, which is the mission of this operation, is to get there first. Because everything else after that, it's not that. Something tells me that they don't get a lot of Westerners here. Because, number one, I don't see any. And they're looking at me like I'm a real novelty. Namaskar, namaskar, namaste.
Welcome to Nepal.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes.
If you want a flying helicopter, this is your guy. Okay, this has turned into something a bit more of a pilgrimage than I was anticipating, but on the other hand, I had no idea. But we've just taken a good 20-25 minute walk up along this, concrete embankment, brick overlaid into a sort of a man-made river that leads from one of the final gates up to what looks like this pavilion here. And then they tell me if I make a right, which I think I may be seeing the outline behind that tree, I'll be right where I want to be. Now is a final coda to the day as I'm sneezing and the driver's looking back at me. We're taking a tuk-tuk ride back from where we were. Through the bush, nice thick bush, and the goats, and the man-made river over there. Keep following. And we'll head upstairs to see what we got. Greetings from Lumbini, Nepal. I'm recording this right at the birthplace of Saddam. I'm recording this right at the birthplace at Siddhartha Gautama, who everybody knows as the Buddha, which as far as I understand it means the one who is awoken and escaped the cycle of birth, life, death, and resurrection, which the rest of us unenlightened folk are condemned to repeat, and it is inherently painful. So through the awakening, through the practices of Buddhism, one seeks to achieve that full enlightenment, which I believe they either call nirvana or moksha might be the Hindu Nirvana might be the derivative of the Hindu moksha, but I'm talking out of school now. I don't really know. I didn't take that course. But this spot right here, I'm going to get out of the way. That golden Buddha represents the baby Buddha where he was born, and this is about 2,560 years ago. You can check the date yourself. With that, this is you know who, you know where, and you know why. We just passed through the security check of the destination, which is nothing less than the palace that Siddhartha Gautama grew up in as a prince. And they make you take your shoes off. They let me keep my socks on because I need a little protection with my tender New York feet. Buddha. Maya Devi Temple Buddha. That golden statue is not the spot that the Buddha was born. It marks the entryway into the spot the Buddha was born, which is this building behind me, which is the standing remnants of the palace that he was born in. And you're not allowed to bring cameras in there. Even though I had to pay 450 rupees to get the camera into this zone, it does not include taking a picture of the sacred site in there, indoors, which makes total sense. It's not a photo op. It's a sacred spot. And I get it. And I got a little bit of gold on my forehead for my effort. I put it there myself. There are stones there with gold on it. And you can touch the stones and say a prayer or make a wish or whatever. I just grabbed the gold and put it on my forehead. I'm guessing it's some sort of prayer for world peace.
यसरी तपाईहरुले चाहिँ यो 8 वटा वन्दना गर्नुभयो। यसले चाहिँ तपाईको पुण्य सम्भार 4 धेरै वृद्धि गर्दछ। पुण्य सम्भार सञ्चय गर्नुभयो, पुण्य झन वृद्धि गर्नुभयो र यसले तपाईको ज्ञान पाउनलाई पनि सहायता गर्दछ।
那么透过以上的坎达那瓦汤吉秘密的东半年之讲
अब तपाईहरुले चाहिँ यसरी भावना गर्नुस्। अब यो बचेको बलि अभिषेकको अधिष्ठान दिनको लागि र ज्ञान शब्द तपाई भित्र पसाउनको लागि तपाईले आफ्नो शरीरलाई सिधा गर्नुस् र मनलाई यताउता नगरेर एकचित्त भएर ध्यानपूर्वक सुन्नुहोस् र
पापी
น้อมแด่พระผู้มีพระภาคเจ้าพระองค์นั้น
I see. We're outside the compound that the Cambodian government paid for in this complex they call the sacred forest. I don't know if they're going to let me come in there with the camera. I don't know if I want to come in there with the camera, but the architecture is obviously spectacular. At first look, I would have thought it was Thai, which of course borders Cambodia, and at some point in history, or maybe more than one point, they were the same territory. But then I could see from the outside gate, which I'm going to show you the interior of, I knew it was Khmer. I knew it was Cambodian because I've been to Cambodia. I've been to Angkor Wat, which is this is comparable, you know, I would say, comparable to Angkor Wat in its vastness and complexity and artistry. So I'm going to take the camera up the stairs and see what happens. If somebody tells me put it away, I'm going to put it away, because I've been there and done that, and I ain't going to go back there again. Please do not touch the statue at the door. Okay. Resist the temptation. I don't know about taking the camera in here. I'm gonna, because they could say, no, you didn't see the sign. Well, it's, now you gotta go in front of a judge. Sorry, can't release you. I see people with cameras. All right. Wow. Wow.
Artificial people.
Yeah, it's a wow, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wow. Now, this guy tell me to put out the camera. No, okay. I tried to get the Guardian's okay to video, and he just ignored me. So I'm going to return the favor. Anyway, right outside the Thai Buddhist temple here in the complex. And I'm a little bit surprised. Actually, I'm pretty surprised to see it because, as you can see, it's a plain white, elegant, highly stylized Thai, recognizably Thai, white. And I'm surprised to see that it's not ornate like those others were. I mean, this is decidedly not ornate in terms of color. But the architecture is, in my view, exquisite. In the time-tested custom of big statues of Buddha, which you can see all over Asia, and I think you used to be able to see the biggest Buddha statues of all carved into the mountaintop somewhere in Afghanistan that the Taliban took it upon themselves to destroy. Sort of like the Valley of the Kings is what it reminded me of in Egypt. Anyway, we're not in the Valley of the Kings, we're in Lumbini still. And in this massive pavilion, there are dozens of Buddhist temples, as I had said, each contributed by a different, mostly Asian countries. There's one I see from Germany, which was kind of bizarre because there's nothing German about it. It was almost as like I got the feeling that they wanted to placate the primitive, mythologically based Asiatic hordes by, mimicking their style in a cheap display of respect and reverence. But that's my own thing. Probably true. That said, I don't know whose this is, but I know it's a big baby Buddha. Big baby Buddha. Big baby Buddha. Big baby Buddha. Say that with your teeth drilled in straight. I don't really know what else to say except that it's a big baby Buddha. And it's painted gold. And he's pointing to the sky, which must mean something. It means that way. Maybe they're bird hunting. Okay, I won't make any fun. I'll be serious. Peace to those who seek it. And Om Namah Shivaya. I don't know any chants for Buddhism, but I'll learn some. Thank you. And this is the last of our stops here at the sacred forest. I'm not sure which pavilion this one is, but that seated Buddha in gold paint is particularly striking because you can see it from the road about a couple hundred yards away. You're like, I want that one. I want that location. And the crowds just keep coming. It's thousands of, mostly young students and families here. Thousands of them all day long. It's about, it's almost 5 p.m. and I haven't seen a let up. If anything, I think I've seen an increase in the arrivals of tourists, visitors, pilgrims. Because this place here where we're at now, it's the Jerusalem of Buddhism. It's the Mecca of Buddhism. I don't know what the Christians call their sacred spot, so let's just call it the Vatican for some reason, I don't know. Because it should be Bethlehem. In any case, this is where we're at. This is where it's at. So if you want to know where Buddhism started and where the energy of Buddhism emanates, here we are. Here we are. And I hope I take more of it with me than I'll ever need. Out.